Today we are studying about to study mathematical tools part 2 different functions. This is again to repeat that these tools are required for the student who go through the biology. For the NEET, preparing for the NEET examinations. Obviously they have left mathematics in class 10th, but important thing which is required in physics class 11th or 12th are the logarithm. Three important tools are there: logarithm, trigonometric functions, and calculus. I've already told you about the logarithm. A brief account of logarithm had been given, and the link of the logarithm is given on the upper side. So you just go to the logarithm. If you have not gone through earlier, go through it and subscribe my channel. Now coming to the point, this is trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions are, first thing which you must know, what is trigonometry? Trigonometry was, thought about, let's not say invented, was thought about when the scientists have to know the height of the peak of any mountain or the celestial body or something like navigation. I mean, let me write for navigation, for celestial bodies, something like peak. This was required, and trigonometry was, first thought in the year of 1595. This is, you may say, year 1595. The trigonometry was, it was started. Now, what was the how it started? Everybody knew about the Pythagoras theorem. All of you know the Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem starts with the right angle triangle. This is, let me draw right angle triangle. This is right angle 90 degree. This is called hypotenuse. All of you know this. Let me repeat it. Hypotenuse. This is perpendicular. I always make perpendicular in this way, and this is the base. So Pythagoras formed a relation between these two. Let it be A, B, and C, very normal things, and he made some relation between these three edges. He said that A B square plus BC square is equal to AC square, means base square plus perpendicular square is equal to hypotenuse square. But he did not talk about angles. Angles, no, he did not talk about the angles. So in mathematical tools we talk about the angles, and obviously in a right angle triangle. So let's start with the basic things about the trigonometric function. This is, I mean, three important functions which are, used everywhere is the sine, sine, sine. We write in short form sine. This cosine we write as cos, and tangent. This is called tan. And this angle, we always take this angle as theta. It is general perception that this angle with the base is theta. So this all started on this background, that sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. The angle sine theta. If we write sine theta, it means perpendicular, perpendicular upon hypotenuse. This is, I think, ICC board student have gone through. Perpendicular upon this is, BC upon AC is sine theta. Cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. Let me write in short. Base is AB upon AC. This is, and tan theta is, I must tell you, tan is the derivative of sine theta and cos theta, which is, this is sine theta upon cos theta is tan theta. So I must tell you, to be very precise, all of you have to go through the sine theta and cos. If you know the sine theta and cos theta, you will understand what is tan. You will know the value of tan theta. everywhere. I mean, you have not to cram, remember, write anything about the tan theta. Here tan theta, sine theta upon cos. I mean, this is BC upon AC upon AB upon AC. AC and AC cancels out. So BC upon AB is the tan theta. So these important things you have to remember. What is sine theta? What is cos? This is, let me again repeat. This is now what happens. If you know some, suppose this is some building, a very high rise building. So this is high rise building, and you have clinometer. You know clinometer or theodolite. Theodolite. These are the instruments which measures the height of any, I mean angle. So clinometer measures this angle, and you know the distance of where you are standing here, and you know the distance. You can understand the distance of the peak of the highest building. In the same way, the mountaineer used to know the height of the peak of the mountains. So this is required. Now generally trigonometry is, I mean, theoretical part. Now we have got the instruments also which can measure straight away the height of the peak or celestial body, or the in the navigation. I mean, where is the ship and the distance of ship and the height and whatever about the ship they can understand. So, but because in physics, if you are, I mean, if we get job, we can forget anything, everything, except you are teaching. Then you have to remember all those things. Otherwise, uh, uh, for example, myself had been in civil services, so I forgot everything because it is not required in the daily life. As some of the chief minister of the state said, sine theta cos theta is never used in the life. When you are in a general type of life, becomes some doctor or something like professor, or something like IAS officer. So we don't require anything about the mathematics. You can tell, I mean, out of your interest, you can go to the classroom and take some classes, but it is not required anyways. So, but you have to go through it because it is important when you are preparing for the NEET examination. So now second part, you understand what are sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. I mean, the reverse of this also there. Sine, reverse of sine is, reverse of sine, inverse, inverse, inverse of sine is cosec, cosec, cos is sec, and tan is cot. These are the inverse. I mean, sine, if sine theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, then this is cosec is, then cosec is hypotenuse upon perpendicular. The same way, sec is, sec is hypo upon base, and tan cot, you may understand. Okay, so now coming to some important angles. Suppose, let me draw here. Suppose this is 60 degree. Then it may be asked, what is the value of sine 60 or sine 30? If it is 60, then it may be 30. Don't go upon the design. I always say this thing. This may be 30 because it looks acute angle, and this is obtuse angle, so it may be 60. So somebody may ask, what is the value of sine 30, or somebody may ask sine 45, or somebody may ask you sine 90. In the same way, cos 16, value of these have to be has to be remembered by you, and cos 45 and cos 90. I've already taken the class of these things, but let me bring you to the brief about this. So let us start with this sine theta, cos, I mean sine 60, cos 60. So first we come to this point, sine 60 and sine 30. Let us draw a triangle in this way. I mean equilateral triangle. This is all R2. Draw a perpendicular upon this triangle, so it becomes 1. It becomes 1. Let it be A, B, C and D. So this is 60. Now when you made this half, so it becomes 30. Let us start now. Okay, one thing, AD you don't know. AD is what? AD is, this is hypotenuse, this is 1, I mean this is base, this is base. So what will happen? Applying the Pythagoras theorem, AC square is equal to AD square plus DC square. AC square is, I mean 2 square. AD we do not know. DC we know is 1 square. So 4 is equal to AD square plus 1, or AD square is equal to 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3. So AD is equal to under root 3. Now apply this. So let us come to this point, sine 60. What is sine 60? Sine 60 is perpendicular, I mean AD upon AC. So AD is what? Under root 3. AC is what? 2. So sine 60 is under root 3 upon 2. This is, you have to remember. In the same way, cos 60 is equal to DC upon AC. DC is 1, AC is 2. So this is cos 60. Now come to the reverse of this. Sine 30. Now for sine 30, this is 30. So it becomes perpendicular of this triangle. So this is 1. Perpendicular is DC upon AC. So it is 1 upon 2. And cos 30 is equal to cos 30. This is base. This earlier perpendicular becomes the base. So this base is under root 3. So cos 30 is AD upon AC, and that is under root 3 upon 2. Just see specifically the sine 60 is equal to cos 30. Cos 60 is equal to sine 30. If you remember one of them, you can remember all of them. So this is how you remember all those things. Now coming to the another important part, coming to the 45. Where is this is here? Okay. Okay. Now draw a triangle, right angle. Always I must tell you, this all happens in the right angle triangle. Draw a triangle of 45, I mean both are 45. Sorry, this may be, but always take, I already told you, this is 45, this is 45, and all are, this is 1, this is 1, and this is 90. So what will happen? Again using the Pythagoras theorem, it becomes a under root 2. So sine 45 is equal to 1 upon root 2. I mean, again, assume a right angle triangle whose base and perpendicular, it will only happen when both are equal, then only it will become 45 45. If base and perpendicular are the same, then only it will become 45 or 45. So always take a triangle of unit length, so that, and then it become hypotenuse become under root 2. So sine 45 is equal to this. In the same way, cos 45 is also equal to the 1 upon root 2. These are important. Now one important thing, what is sine 90? I told you in earlier videos. For sine 90, this angle has to become 90. When it has to become that, then this has to shift. And this hypotenuse has to shift, and unless it comes overlaps with the perpendicular, it will not remain the 90 degree. So this and this becomes equal. So sine 90 is equal to 1. And again cos 90. What will happen? If you bring hypotenuse to this perpendicular, then what will happen? This will this will this will become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and at some point it becomes 0. Only then hypotenuse overlaps with the perpendicular. So 0 upon, I mean base upon hypotenuse, 0 upon 1, this becomes 1. So this is 0. So cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1. These are the important value of sin 30, sin 60, cos 30, cos 60, sin 45, cos 45, and sine 90 cos 90. I mean this you have to also remember every time, like remembering the value of gravitational force, like remembering the value of light speed of light, or like remembering the Planck's constant. In the same way you have to remember these numbers as a that is, it is called tools. You have to I mean you have to doing some engineering, that you must know the tools used for the engineering. I mean the physical tools like screwdriver or something like plier or plus. In the same way, for theoretical physics you have to remember all these signs, or the value of this sine, cosine or tangent. I mean one thing which I left, I've already told you, tangent is a derivative of sine and cosine. So sine upon, everywhere if you are asked to tell what is tan 60, then what will you write? Sine 60 upon cos 60, and you will get the value. I mean it will become, obviously if you see to it, it becomes under root 3, and just reverse of is 1 upon under root 3. So this is, I'm not writing, because everything which if I tell you, then you will not be able to understand. So do yourself. Now one more important thing, you might have gone through the coordinate geometry in the class 10th, and that is the important factor which is required. I mean sometimes they ask you sine 90 plus theta, and sometimes they may ask you sine 180 minus theta, or sine 180 plus theta. This is again very important, sine 90. I have just reached to some very important which I used to go through in our classes. My teacher was very intelligent, so he used to have some innovative ideas to tell all those things. So if I remember all those things, so I'm telling you in the same way as my teacher told you. Okay, let's start with the coordinate geometry and coordinates. There are four coordinates, and the horizontal axis called the x-axis, and the vertical axis called y-axis. If you take the 3D picture, then the another axis called the z-axis, and any point on this is denoted by x and y. X is the horizontal, how much distance is covered on the horizontal side, and how much distance is covered on the vertical side. I mean this x and y indicate the position of a point. Now coming to the coordinates, this side, this x side is called the plus side, this y side is called the plus side. So this, any point placed on this coordinate is plus plus, I mean x and y both are plus. In the same way, this y is plus, but this side is the negative of the x, so it is minus x and plus y. I mean, whenever you point some point, suppose if you write some value like 3 and 2, then in place of x, you have to write 3 every time. If there is a point at the 3 distance from here, then it is minus 3 and 2. In the same way, this is lower side, and from this side, this is x is negative. So this is x is negative, and the lower side of the y is also negative. So any point placed on this surface area, I mean, suppose we write the value of point, I mean, point is positioned at 4 2, so you have to write minus 4 and minus 2. In coordinate geometry we write in this way, and here the x is positive because x is this side, so we write here x plus, and y is the negative side, so it is minus 1. I mean if you place some point here in this surface or in this quadrant, then we will write here just like 4 and minus 3. So this you have to remember before I tell you about the sine 90 plus theta.